What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video from the 10-7 MMA channel, and I had to make this video immediately. I'm actually out of town right now, but I was able to watch this main fight, a fight that I was very excited for. And if you guys remember, if you guys watch the channel regularly, I picked Usman. Most people did not pick Usman. MMA Guru, MMA Joey, so many people were picking Buckley in this fight. And the rationalization I heard over and over is Usman is old. His knees are shot. His body is shot, etc. Now, I kept hearing this, and it didn't make sense other than for the fact that he's 38 years old, which I get, and I understand. Father Time is undefeated, as they always say. But the entire aging argument and getting old and whatnot, it never really made sense to me because his last fight, he looked awesome. I didn't see any slowdown. It wasn't like what we saw happen to Tony Ferguson or other fighters in the past. He looked great, in fact. And I think once we see Khamzat fight next, I think that that fight against Khamzat is going to age very, very well. Khamzat is a formidable force, and Usman stayed in there, hung in there, and had a pretty solid third round against Khamzat Chimaev. People don't give him nearly enough credit for that fight, and now we see he has still got it. One of the reasons why I picked Usman ultimately in this fight, and I'll admit part of it was with my heart. I'm a fan of Usman. I wanted to see him get in there. I want to see him still show that he's still got it after all these people are talking negatively. I'll admit that there was definitely that element to it. But there were two other big factors. One, he's the better fighter. Everybody knew it. And we're going to talk about exactly how and why and where he was the better fighter, which is pretty much everywhere. Nah, maybe not the striking. Okay, I'll be honest. Buckley had better striking, was faster, was more powerful, it seemed, more dangerous. But Usman is overall the better all-around fighter. So that was one reason, of course. Buckley is dangerous. He's unpredictable. He is fast. He's explosive. So there was that. But the other thing is the coaching staff, okay? I said Buckley's coach is his boy from back in the day. While he might have a great eye for the sport, he's no Trevor Whitman. Come on, he's no Henry Hoof. Let's just be real. He doesn't have a full team yet. And I think that was part of the reason why he didn't come in fully prepared to properly handle Usman's wrestling threat, which was dominant, except for the fifth round. Now, do we say that Buckley won the fifth round because he finally got his takedown defense better? He finally got confident? I don't think so. I think Usman just got tired because Usman dominantly won the first four rounds and lost the fifth round. The judges said 48-47. I don't understand that. I'd love to hear your guys' reaction. But to me, that was clearly a 49-46. Usman was dominant the last round. He hung in there, but I'm sure he was tired. He was fatigued. Which makes sense. He was going to town. He landed those takedowns. I think at one point, he was like 4 for 7, maybe ended 5 for. I don't know what the stats were, but originally I didn't see him miss. I didn't see Buckley successfully defend a single takedown until round 3, round 4. I can't remember exactly. Usman is better, and Usman still got it. Okay. And I am so happy for this outcome. I don't know what the UFC wanted. I assume maybe they wanted the younger guy, the up-and-comer, to actually get the victory, to use Usman's name to propel him forward, to make the division more exciting. But to me, this makes the division way more exciting for a couple of reasons. Number one, Buckley's young. He's 31. He can come back. 1 or 2 more big victories, and he's back in the mix, especially if he gets them dominantly. Number two, this is probably a wake-up call for Buckley. Everybody thought maybe Buckley, man, he's so good because he defended all of Kobe's takedowns. Dude, look at how Kobe rewatched that fight with Buckley versus Kobe. Kobe looked terrible. Look at him after the weight cut with the interview. He lost his voice. He had a terrible weight cut. He wasn't training, obviously. Look at him in the fight. He looked soft. He looked pudgy. His takedowns were at like 5% speed of like a normal UFC fighter. So I don't think that really showed much. This was a real test against a real wrestler, a real grappler, a real world champion. And it just shows the levels. So I think this is going to give Buckley a really good opportunity to go back, rethink how he wants to approach his fights, maybe actually work on building a team. Maybe. I mean, look, I don't know the intricacies of what a fighter needs to do or who he needs to have around him to be successful. That's a question for Justin. We're going to talk about that on Monday. But whatever it is that he needs to do going forward to strengthen his training, to strengthen his skill set, I think he's going to do it, and he's going to come back better. So I think this is a big positive. Now, why is this so great that Usman won? This opens up some really interesting fights in the welterweight division. I mean, Is Usman going to be able to go back and reclaim the welterweight division if he has to fight JDM or Islam Makhachev or something like that? I don't know. And I would lean towards no. But we got a great fight lined up. Him versus Bilal. I was saying for a long time I want Bilal to move up and fight Sean Strickland, but I think it's right there. You know, Bilal just comes off from being champ, still ranked high. If Usman still has aspirations to get one more title shot, let's put them together. They had that fight, release the podcast. It's a great story. So I think this is great. And on top of it, I think people are really starting to get behind Usman more so now than even when he was the champ, partially because of his great podcast, Pound for Pound. I think part of it is for some weird reason when champions lose the title, but they keep fighting, they keep doing their thing. I don't know what it is, but I see it every time. It's like they get this new resurgence of popularity and fandom. I think that's what's happening for Usman. So to me, I am thrilled. I'm so happy. This was phenomenal. I love seeing Usman shut down that narrative, which made no sense in the first place, that he's over the hill, that he's lost, that his knees are gone, all this BS. Yo, he's still in there. He's still got it. He's so mentally tough. And he even said in the post-fight that he had to battle a lot of demons. He said his daughter wasn't at the fight. He said that's a long story. I wonder what happened. But remember this, as impressive as the victory may have seemed just from the outside looking in, just from pure performance standpoint, just purely from how dangerous Buckley is, he said he was battling a lot of demons, had to get that monkey off his back. 3 fights in a row that he lost. Now, I can sit here and say he looked great in all those 3 fights, so who cares? But it's a different thing, and I know this just from talking to Justin. When you lose fight after fight after fight, you start questioning yourself, regardless of how those fights went down. He was battling that. Something, it sounds like, is going on with his daughter. He has these personal struggles that he's battling and dealing with, and he got really emotional with this victory, and he still pulled it off. That tells me he's still got a lot left to get done in this division. I think he came out pretty unscathed, what it looked like to me. I'm hoping that's the case. Let's get him right back in there. Let's get that Bilal fight. Bilal maybe needs, just guessing, I don't know how, I heard he had a fractured orbital or something potentially. I don't know. Let's hope not. Yo, I'd love to see this fight in the next 4 or 5 months if we can get Usman back in the mix. And if not, there's other fights that are interesting, but I think it's got to be Bilal. Very exciting times for the welterweight division. And the fact that Usman won actually brings some life back to Bilal too. So, I mean, to me, this is all around great. This is all around great. Who does Buckley fight next? I don't know. I think he's got a lot of options. He's still very dangerous in that at the top of the division. Let's see what happens. But Buckley's young. He'll be back. Great fight, in my opinion. Great fight. Loved it. Big fan. Let's go, Kamaru Usman. Can't wait to see him back on the pod next week. I'm pound for pound to talk about this amazing victory. Congratulations. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Are you guys also excited? Are you also super stoked to see what's going to go down next with Usman? Let me know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for joining. We'll see you in the next video. Take it easy.